right. Who's ready to get this started? You guys ready to get this started? All right. Like I said before, this is a very intentional person to put on the last day because Mike Arce is an incredible speaker. He runs an unbelievable agency called Loud Rumor. They've got 20 plus people. They're big, but not only that is that this guy's just done it all, right? Small business owner. He's one of you guys in many, many ways. They actually specialize in the wellness space, so they have nothing to do with me, which is really great. And not only that is that he's just the authority in that. And he's also an incredible salesperson that I don't know if you would ever call yourself that, but man, you are one unbelievable process-oriented salesperson who I just love to death. And not only that, it's like we just had time to kind of become friends over the last few months. And I'll tell you right now, just in addition to that, homeboy's got 4 kids. Anybody here got kids? And still run a just unbelievable, massive, impactful agency of the world? Yeah, it's a hard thing to do, okay? But I'll tell you right now that you guys are just going to be blown away by this content. I'm super happy that we're in it with this guy. And so without further ado, please welcome Mr. Mike Arce to the stage.
What's up, guys? How are you? Good morning. Let's get a good morning since we had a reception last night. On the count of 3. Good morning, real loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good morning. You guys feel like you were back in school for a second? All right, so today we're going to be talking about how we added over 500 clients in 18 months without imploding our systems or our margins. In fact, I think our systems and our margins got a lot better. Who here wants to know a little bit more about that? All right, awesome. Obviously, that's why you're here at 9, right? So we've heard some really, really great speakers so far. Would you guys agree? Yes? So a round of applause for Digital Marketer for putting together a great lineup. And all the speakers here, if you noticed, they've kind of had a lot of overlap, but there was a lot of different angles and philosophies. And when you're building an agency, there's really not just one way to do it, right? And building an agency is kind of like fitness in the way where there's not just one right way to get in shape. Some people like to do CrossFit, and that could be effective for them. Some people like to run. Some people like to do yoga, and all these are really, really effective ways to get in shape. And of course, there's less effective ways to get in shape too. And there's less effective ways to run an agency. So my name is Mike Arce, and the agency that I started is called Loud Rumor, and that's what we're actually going to be talking about today. And we're going to talk about my journey. We're going to talk about the strategies that I had to use to be able to get to where we're fortunate enough to say we are today, and how we avoided drowning. See what I did there? Drowned. Speaking of drowning, I have a wife and 4 kids. Now, Brad Martineau did something like this, and I thought he was going to take my angle, but he didn't take my angle, so I'm going to keep using it. The slides are staying. If you have at least 4 kids, go ahead and raise your hand. All right, awesome. So people ask me, they say, Mike, what's it like to have 4 kids? And Jim Gaffigan said it best when I heard him on stage. He said, well, when you have 3 kids, it's equivalent to the feeling of drowning. And then when you have 4 kids, it's kind of like you're drowning, and then someone hands you a baby. That's exactly what it's like. Spot on, Jim. I'm really happy that Ryan mentioned Mad Men yesterday. It's one of my favorite shows, so much so that I actually named my dog Don Draper. We call him Draper for short. And he's this really tough-looking dog called Draper. But when you have 3 daughters, it doesn't really matter what you call him. He's going to be in a tutu. And so that's my tough-looking dog in a tutu. All right, so quick favors. Do I have permission to ask some quick favors real quick? Yes? All right, number 1, stay engaged, no laptops. Is that a deal? Yes? And as some of you guys are like, oh man, but I'm taking notes, Listen, please don't do this to me, because it's a me thing. You ever hear George Costanza? It's not you, it's me. It's a me thing. I freeze up, I get all freaked out because I look over and I'm like, oh, I'm doing terrible, and then everything messes up for everyone else that wants to hear it, right? So stay engaged, no laptops. I'm going to provide links to help. So right now, this is the only picture you need to take, and that's the only thing you need to write down. bit.ly/GSD-DAGS, DAGS, right? If you guys go here, everything you're about to see can be yours in your email. Is that fair? Yes? All right, here we go. Also, connect with me. So this is my handle for pretty much everything, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So please connect with me there, and you'll be able to find cool videos that I post regularly like this one, the 5 most impactful ways that our ad agency advertises to get more clients. Did you guys find that video valuable? Yep. We got 500 clients, yes? Okay, cool. So we post a bunch of videos like that. All right, so let's get into my journey. Now, just so you know, I have 45 minutes, and I wanted to jam as much stuff into this as I possibly could. And there were moments where I wanted to cut stuff out, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. So I used a lot of slides. I'm going to give them to you. Keep looking at the screens, because I'm going to flip through. There's like 250 slides, but we're like this. Is that okay? Yes? Okay, awesome. So here's my journey. 2010, I started the company with my wife, Marjan. No, I don't age really well. That picture's not from 2010. That's from a few months ago. We didn't start it because we had this big vision to change the world like Steve Jobs did. My wife and I actually met in a really good economy. We both had really good jobs. Work was good. And a few years later, in 2010, we decided to spend whatever we had in our savings account to get a house and have a really nice wedding. And it was a really, really nice wedding. And exactly 40 weeks later, to the day, my daughter was born. So for those of you people doing the math, pretty good wedding night. We were so excited, so excited. And, she couldn't wait to tell her friends at work. And as soon as she told her boss she was pregnant, he was so happy for her. Friday morning. Then later on that day, fired, cutbacks. She was the only one cut back. Worked there 18 months, never got a write-up. But it's cool. She got another job, met with an attorney. She said, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to tell them you're pregnant. You can keep applying and interviewing. She wasn't showing like she is in this picture yet. And she said, but if they ask you if you're pregnant, you have to tell them. So my wife applied. She got another job. Everything was great. Let go the day she told me she was pregnant, which was like a month and a half after. Fired twice in the same pregnancy. Crazy, right? Okay, at this point, we had $500 in savings. The economy was bad, so we were losing $1,500 a month with my income going down and her income not existing. And so we were not in a good place. Nobody was hiring then, especially someone at 5 months pregnant, so we had to create a job. Anybody here had to create a job because it just wasn't going to happen somewhere else? So you guys know what I'm saying, right? Yes? Okay. So that's where we came up with Loud Rumor. Now, at this point, my wife never sold anything a day in her life. In fact, she was terrified of the idea of selling anything. She thought sales was icky. But me, that's all I ever knew how to do. So I actually created a binder, and I filled it with a bunch of scripts. And there was obviously the main script that was like, when you first call, they say hello or whatever. You read this. And then we had a script for every single objection. You guys remember the tabs you used in the binders in school, like for math and English, you just flip to math, remember? So it was like, how come I never heard of you guys before? Boom, and read that script. Well, how come you guys don't even have a website? Boom, well, that's simple, Mr. Smith. So we had a script for everything, right? And whatever we didn't have a script for, I would make one for. At 5 months pregnant, my wife made an average of 230 calls a day. Now, some of you guys are looking at that going, well, that's impossible. And yes, it may be for some of you guys in the room and for guys like me, because we actually have experience in sales. We know how to get a conversation going and increase talk time. And if you guys worked in a call center before, you know there's two different types of things that can be measured. There's talk time, and then there's call counts. And so if you are terrible at sales, you will have high call counts, and you will have low talk time. If you're great at sales, you have high talk time, low call counts. And so my wife was terrible at sales, so she was just getting hung up on left and right. Now, ladies in the room, when you're pregnant, are you already kind of in an emotional state? Can you imagine getting hung up on like 200 times a day? Would that be while you're like, we need money? Would that be like terrifying? My wife was a beast. Round of applause for my wife because she's going to watch this. So this is my first office. Now you're looking at it, you go, that doesn't look like an office. It looks like a hallway, and that's because it is a hallway. It's the hallway above the office that I used to actually sell at. So I had a job downstairs. Upstairs, that's the hallway, and the picture on the right is actually the outlet that's zoomed in. It's a zoom-in picture of the one on the left. So every time my wife would get somebody on the phone that was interested, she would text me the information. I would run upstairs. I'd sit down on that spot next to the outlet because my laptop wasn't good enough to be able to stay charged without being plugged in. And so I would actually make the sales call from there. Fortunately, because the economy was so bad, every business on that floor went out of business. So nobody was ever there except for people from downstairs. I had to go number 2. This was the poop floor because for some reason, nobody wants anybody to know that we poop. And so people went upstairs, and I was the only one there like, what's up, dude? So I pitched 8 people from here, and I closed 4. And I was like, man, if my wife can get 8 people on the phone, and she's terrified, and she sucks at sales, and she's scared to death, no experience, what could I do? So I quit my job. This is a few months later here, and now we're in our garage. Lucky enough, the people that had the house before us turned that one-car garage into an actual functional room. So it was a hardwood floor. There was air conditioning. That's my wife in the corner, my cousin John Paul, who I convinced to come and work for me, and that was me at my desk in the bottom left. Now, from 2010 to 2015, it was an absolute nightmare. I was going to say something else. But my car got repossessed twice. And actually, from that window right there by my wife, we watched it happen. And we're like running to go negotiate with them. And, you know, they don't negotiate with you. Once it's on the rack, right? How many people have heard, dude, once it's on the rack, I can't do it? Raise your hand if anybody's heard it. Am I the only one? I heard it twice. This sucks. House was almost taken away. And again, lucky enough, it was a bad economy. Because if it was a good economy, I would have lost it because I had to make my mortgage payment for 9 months. But in the economy the way it was, the banks actually felt it was safer in my hands than to just put it back in another market where no one's buying houses. I knew how to make every variation of peanut butter jelly and mac and cheese. I literally think about creating a course on like variations of mac and cheese recipes. And then we never went on vacations during this time. We only looked at pictures. My sister, my cousins, my friends, everybody. And we lived vicariously through them, and we just made a list, like a bucket list. All right. Now, I wasn't getting clients. I was getting clients, but I was never able to personally take home more than $3,000 a month. How many of you guys had revenue, but you had no cash? Anybody ever dealt with that? Like, I got revenue, but it's like, how am I not making money? How's the money it's not making sense in the bank with what I should have, right? Paperwork isn't matching up. Anybody's paperwork does not match up? Like, it never not matches up the good way, though, right? You're never like, I don't get it. I have way more money than I should. Never. And some months I actually lost money. After 5 years of that, I had enough. I was tired of not having enough clients, and I was definitely tired of having to settle for difficult clients. How many of you guys have had to settle for difficult clients in the past because you needed the cash? Right. So there's two different types of difficult clients that I couldn't stand. I felt like they were energy sucks and time sucks. That was this guy, the guy that you actually got results for, and it was black and white, clear as day. I'm getting results for the guy, and it's not good enough. Raise your hand if you dealt with this guy. Nightmare. And this guy takes forever to get you the stuff that you need, and then whenever he needs something, when does he need it? Now, right? This guy, another guy, I was like, I can't deal with it anymore. It's too much, too time consuming. So that's when I decided to become a business owner. And I heavily adopted the GSD attitude. Anybody know what GSD stands for? Get shit done. That's right. It is like the most productive thing that I could think of. And I was going to be just like Mr. Get Shit Done. I was going to focus. I was going to become optimal. I was going to listen to people like Tim Ferriss and biohack myself and just figure out how to become like the most optimal business owner on the entire planet. So I started investing a ton in coaching. So far, it's over $120,000 to date. Now, that didn't happen in the beginning, right? It was like $1,000. That's all I got, and I had to borrow it. But one thing I learned is I never invested in coaching and not made money back. Not everyone can say that. But here's one thing that I will say, and people know this, that know me know it's true. I aim to be everyone's best student. Whatever coach I work with, I tell them, I will be your best student. I'm going to be your testimonial video that you want to show people first when you want to make the sale. That's going to be me. And so when you do that, you will get your return on coaching, period. I've never not had it. So I made it a habit to also read every single day, no exceptions. Oh, by the way, talking about wanting to be your best student always and getting shit done, Marcus, I just signed up for digital marketing like 2 weeks ago, right? I already got the landing page done, I got the stacks done, I got the packages done. Pfft, done, dude. I'm just waiting on you now. So now, these are the books that I read. I read over 250 books in the last like 3.5 years, and these are some of the ones that I really believe have been the most impactful. So when you get to this slide, when you go home and you get this deck, take a screenshot. These are the ones that were great for me and my agency. In 2014, though, my agency was actually a disaster. I actually ended 2014 with over $70,000 in debt, and that was made up of payroll taxes, credit cards, and then $20,000 that I owed my dad. How many of you guys had to deal with a business with debt before? Right? A lot of debt. It sucks. And so by 2016, though, all this coaching, all this reading, all this focusing, all this GSDing, we ended up winning 2016 Best Place to Work in Phoenix. And actually, Thursday, we find out, we know we're finalists. We find out if we win for 2017. We won 2016 Ad Agency of the Year in Arizona. We also won 2017 Ad Agency of the Year in Arizona. We won 2016 Better Business Bureau Ethics Awards. We added 531 clients at $1,000 a month. And we have a 38% net profit. Round of applause for my team so I can show them. Because you know one person can't do that, right? That's a collective. So we paid off all $70,000 in debt on New Year's Eve of 2015. So basically the day before 2016. Any of you guys celebrated the day you paid off all your debt? Any of you guys just like, yes, we did it? Raise your hand if you have. Entrepreneurs are the only people that celebrate getting to zero. Only ones. Dude, we did it. So let's get into what I learned throughout all that stuff, right? Number one, I had to focus. And there's two parts to that, so I'm going to break it down. Number one, we had to focus on who we worked with. So at the time, we were working with dentists, we were working with doctors, we were working with attorneys, name it, who knows? Say it loud. Saul Goodman. Yeah, Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad. All right, good. Plumbers. We work with landscapers. We work with pool cleaning companies and magicians. Dude, we work with 2 magicians. I don't even know how you find a magician. Work with 2 magicians. So now I read this book, and Marcus, I hope we're getting an affiliate commission from this author because this book has been recommended like 5 times already. We should be. But this is a book that was definitely a big part of my change. It really taught me to focus on who it is that we actually serve. So I was in the fitness industry prior to this for about 7 years, and I actually loved it. So I chose fitness. I knew a lot of stuff about it, the challenges, the lingo, all that stuff. The trick is you don't kind of niche, right? Some people don't go all the way. You've got to really niche. So some people say, well, I've niched in the healthcare industry. That's not niching. That's not the same as niching in the plastic surgery industry. Trust me, it's not the same. Go deeper. Your opportunities are going to go more as you go narrow. So we didn't just focus on fitness. We focus on fitness studios, and people in the fitness game know what that is. That's a category of fitness, like yoga, Pilates, bar, spin, TRX, HIIT, cardio kickboxing, all that stuff. That group fitness that appeals to mostly women, right? Now, I said that men don't like it, but mostly women enjoy this stuff, right? Now, we did not work with box gyms, CrossFits, outdoor boot camps, personal training, e-commerce, online fitness companies, that kind of stuff. Now, here's why. I want layups, right? How many people love basketball? I'm a basketball fan. Everybody knows me, knows I love basketball. I wanted layups. Steph Curry was 2-time MVP. He's an awesome three-point shooter, but you give him 100 three-pointers, and you give me 100 layups, and I will make more layups than he will make three-pointers. I guarantee that, because I know how to make a damn layup, and layups are not that hard, right? So for me, layups were clients I knew I can crush it for. It was easy. It was a lay down. I didn't want half-court shots. I didn't want clients where I go home and I go, yeah, I think I could do it. I think we do. If we do this, if we do that, if we do that. If we're already thinking, then we're already losing on this strategy. I want, it's like, yeah, I already know what to do with you. It's done. I already know because I have a client that does almost the exact same thing. I just know what to do. So I wanted layups. I didn't want half-court shots. There are too many companies in the world that I already know without a doubt that I can crush it for. Why take on anything more difficult than that? Let that go to someone else. Let them figure it out. Who can you easily and consistently crush it for? Just serve them. That's it. I know it seems like you're taking steps back, but I promise you it's for like a ton forward, okay? So the goal is to be case study good. You got to take on clients that you can be case study good for. Here's why. When you take on a client that you get good results for, good, they're happy, we're not losing, we're making money. Well, that's not case study good. So the only thing you get in return is the fee that you charge. That's it. But when you're case study good, you get testimonial videos, you get case studies that you can use to get more clients, you get referrals. People don't refer you if you're good and you're kind of making money. People refer you when you're case study good. You guys get what I'm saying? Yes? So don't go for the small money. The small money is the client that I can get results for, and he can pay me my fee, and it ends kind of around there. The big money is the client that I can get way more for. The fee's like secondary. Does that make sense? Okay. If you don't have a niche yet, don't worry. Here are a couple principles that I like to pick. Now, number one, the easiest one, is if you already have experience and passion in something, obviously go there, because you're going to be able to like really develop mastery around it. Nick Silveri, where you at? Nick opened up an agency to help chiropractors. Nick already has a 7-figure chiropractic agency. Makes sense, right? Knows what he's doing. He's basically going to do it for other people. So for you guys, if you don't have a passion or anything like that, that's fine. Here are some things that I think are important. Number one, offers have to be common. So like restaurants, 2 for 1, massage, 50% off, fitness, free week, right? So free offers are common. Number two, franchising is common, right? In the restaurant world, Olive Garden, Applebee's, Chili's, Red Lobster, you name it, right? Like there's thousands of these franchises. And the reason is because when you get one franchisee, you do that work to get that one franchisee, now they're all part of a Facebook group where all the franchisees like share stuff, just like you guys are with digital marketer stuff. And so when you get great results for one, you get great results for everyone. We get about 2 to 3 referrals a day from franchisees that are within a franchise that we're already serving. How cool would that be? Like, think about it. It's not like we get a referral from somebody who goes, yeah, John said you're good, and yeah, like maybe I can help you because I know marketing. No, not only do I know marketing, not only do I know fitness marketing, but I know fitness marketing within your franchise. I've done it, right? To close, would you guys agree? Like, what's to talk about? So did I cover the third thing? Third 3 is not considered a necessity. So for example, restaurants, not considered a necessity, right? Like we can eat at home. Gyms, not considered a necessity. We can go hiking or go for a walk. Massage is not considered a necessity. We've learned that those things work well with the disruptive style advertising. Now again, this is my experience. I am not writing like the book and saying nobody else can figure out anything else. I'm telling you what worked for me. Is that fair? Yeah. Okay, cool. Part 2, niche the services that you provide. So we used to offer SEO and web design and graphic design and AdWords and content marketing and YouTube ads and Facebook ads, video production. I'd have built you a rocket ship if you would have written me a check, right? So when you do that, training and keeping employees is extremely difficult. So we had specialists in order to run these services, right? We had an SEO guy, an AdWords guy, Facebook guy, YouTube guy, video guy, design guy, but they're all wired differently, right? Like you guys know, the SEO guy is wired very differently than the design guy. And the design guy is wired differently than the video guy, and right? Would you guys agree? Yeah, so the problem is you got all these guys. Here's the other problem. Not every client needs everything. Not every client should have everything, and not every account manager works the same as the others. So we had capacity issues. Our SEO guy was at 60% capacity. Our AdWords guy was at 45% capacity. Our Facebook guy was at 95% capacity, which means we had to hire another guy who was going to be at 0% capacity in case we had somebody that wants Facebook. We don't want to turn away business. So we were just wasting salary cap. And when you're in any service business, especially an agency, what is your biggest expense? People. Say it loud. People, right? And that's your biggest expense, and that's your biggest waste. Okay? So we decided we needed to really focus, and so we focused on these 3 services. Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, that's it. For a couple reasons. Number 1, it worked really well for lead gen for the industry that we chose. Number 2, because the people that are wired to do Facebook share the same wiring for people that do Instagram and YouTube ads, right? Would you guys agree? Yeah. It's disruptive ads, right? Yeah. Sorry, I haven't eaten yet, so that's like, my throat's still crazy. Okay, here we go. So now every account manager did the same thing. Here's the cool thing. We're able to literally optimize every account manager before bringing on the next one. And when your biggest expense is people, you want to optimize that expense. And so now we didn't have to have multiple specialists. Everyone does the same thing. Here's what's cool too. These account managers, because they're all working on the same things, they very quickly get really great at understanding that industry, because we focus on who. And they also get very great at understanding Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because we focus on what. And also, because they all do the same thing and they all service the same types of people, they bounce ideas off each other, they all speak the same language, and they'll even swap clients. Like, dude, you do great with Pilates, take this one, I'll take the yoga guy. Like, is that great? Yeah. Isn't that awesome? They could just do that? All right, so basically here's what I did. I offered layups, which were clients I already knew I'd crush it for, a simple but effective lead gen service, right? That's it, no branding, I'm not gonna help you create your brand promise and all that, for a small fee of $1,000 a month, that's it. Now, I had issues with this in the beginning because we used to take on $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month clients. We were a bigger agency. And we kind of were proud of that, right? Being like the Ruth Chris of an agency, right? The higher end. Here's the problem with that. I realized that that was a lot of work. Chefs are expensive at Ruth Chris. There's a lot of training that goes involved in Ruth Chris. Even the waiters need experience at Ruth Chris. So I was like, man, I'm going to be the In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out. In-N-Out's good. Raise your hand if you like In-N-Out burger. Yeah, round of applause, Marcus. So In-N-Out Burger is really, really good. Delivers a quality product. Now, it's still the most expensive in its category, right? It's more expensive than like McDonald's or Burger King or any of those, but it's lower and we work on volume. Oh, but Ruth Chris charges more. Yeah, I get it. You leave their chart spending $200 versus In-N-Out $10, but last year, that's the revenue, right? In-N-Out almost doubled Ruth Chris. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and be the In-N-Out, the most quality one that most people can get. Now, here's the thing. What type of people are working at In-N-Out, right? People just getting started in their career. So right now, we have 10 account managers. The average age is 24 years old. And 7 out of, I think, the 10 account managers, it's their first job right out of college. Kelsey's my assistant here, first job out of college, right? Round of applause for Kelsey. She's awesome. Sam, where's Sam floating around? Where you go, Sam? There you go. First job out of college. 2-year anniversary celebrated like a couple months ago. Round of applause for Sam. So with McDonald's, right, that's the whole thing. Who watched the movie The Founder? Anybody? Oh, watch that movie. It's great. But here's the thing. You go, oh, well, yeah, of course there's like younger people with less experience working at McDonald's. Well, no. The reason they're working there is not because McDonald's simple. They're handling hot grease. They got thousands of people walking in volume, tons of transactions. There's food. There's all this stuff. the system makes it look simple. It's like you see that athlete and you go, man, he just makes it look so easy. It doesn't mean it's easy. Go do it yourself, right? So we created a system. And so now that we have this system, this is actually our journey, right? I was going to say funnel, but I know Ryan wants me to say journey, so I'll say journey, right? So it's our journey that the customers go through. We mapped it all out, and everything is documented. Guys, when I say documented, I'm a systems guy. Here's the problem with agencies. Most agencies are ran by creative people, the exact opposite of system people. And you need to learn how to become a systems guy because you're not a marketer anymore. You are a business owner first that provides marketing services. Guys, I can take the barista downstairs at Starbucks, sit down with her, and give her my stuff that she can follow step by step. Step 1, log into Facebook. Step 2, and she will build out a campaign by the end of the day that will generate over 100 leads for a fitness studio. Now, doesn't mean that one day of training, because we spend 3 to 4 weeks on communication and understanding the industry and the challenges and all that stuff. That's where we spend most of it. But this part, systemize. It's stuff that most people find too complicated. We just simplify. We productize a service. Anybody read this book, E-Myth? Okay, awesome book, right? So it's a great book, and my favorite line out of the book that I'll never forget, and this is how I run my business, is based on this. People should never run a business. Systems run the business, and people run the systems. Too many people are in control in an agency. Systems need to be in control, and people control the systems. Systems control the business and the experience. Finding and acquiring a lot of good candidates can be tough, though, still, no matter what, right? For character and culture and all that stuff. So want to know a cool secret how to find A+ players? Yes? Okay. So one of my mentors started this company, really cool, and initially it wasn't like a big recruiting tool. It was kind of a good recruiting tool. It's called Redirect Health, and it allows me to be able to offer free healthcare to employees, and it's just extremely affordable, and there's no copay. You can talk to a doctor at 3 in the morning on a Sunday, no appointments needed. It's incredible. But that wasn't the real big thing. The big thing was they decided to explode their company. So what they did is they said, you know what? We're going to start doing recruiting for companies to help them find employees so that we can get more employees to use our service. So they're doing recruiting for free. Have you guys ever looked into recruiters? They've gotten me some good talent for free, Guys, I don't know how long it's going to last. Right now, they've been doing it for what, a couple months, Kelsey? So if you guys go to redirecthealth.com/GSD, I show you guys how I do it. I don't want to spend too much time on it. But if you guys go there, I'll show you guys how I use it, but it's pretty damn cool. Okay, next thing. Sorry, Italian from Jersey. Permission to use this slide. Yes? Okay. Become the authority. We've heard people say that, right? But I'll say become the Godfather, right? And so my goal was to put up more content in 1 year than any competitor has done in history, period. In 1 year, more than you've done in your life. That was my goal. And so number 1, always have a camera ready. Always. I have 4 cameras on right now. 1, 2, 3, where's Sam? 4 cameras. And I'm mic'd up. I don't know when I'm going to use this content. Something brilliant might happen. Marcus may come up and be like, guys, this is the best blah, blah, blah in the industry. I go, save that. Did you get that? Did you get that? And I'll show you where I used it, right? For example, I applied to everything. There's nothing I didn't apply for. Every talk I could do, Damon John's coming into town and he's offering 3 businesses this, or this Richard Branson's coming in and he's going to want to work with 3 businesses. I applied to everything, including an event hosted by Entrepreneur where if selected, I can meet, who knows who this is? The prophet, right? Marcus Lemonis. I was selected and my camera was ready. Check it out, guys.
If you want a gym or you need a gym, this is your guy.
I don't know if you understood the power of that. Let me say it again.
If you want a gym or you need a gym, this is your guy.
I got off stage, shook his hand. I go, Sam, you got that, right? You got that? You got that? Sam, how much have we used that? Always be camera ready. You never know. So we started a show called the GSD Show because we started learning. We're like, man, Digital Marketer has it. Lewis House has it. Grant Cardone has it. Gary Vee has it. Like everyone has a podcast. And some of these guys had video podcasts. So I'm like, man, we're going to start a video podcast and we're going to help this industry solve their major challenges. Every single episode will cover a common challenge that every fitness studio owner has, and we'll bring guests in the show to help them overcome it, or we'll solve it, right? That's what we'll do. So in the very beginning, that's episode 1. It's just me and the director of marketing at my company, Sarah. So if you go back, it was like 2 cameras. The audio was kind of weird. Everything was a little off, low quality. And we knew we had to be different. So we started adding things that were different for what we do. And so we created a custom Sports Center theme. No one is doing this, right? And so now we got this cool Sports Center theme where like the sidebar is like animated and it moves and there's a ticker at the bottom. There's a bunch of cool stuff. And we also created cool intermissions at key moments of the episode to generate opt-ins. So right as the guest on the show says something like really powerful, and I know the guest is tuning in at that point, and he's about to give the secret, we drop an intermission like this. Can we get that volume up? All right, so you just heard Brad talk about the assembly line, and if you want his training course, which you normally charge quite a bit of money for, he's actually giving it away for free. If you go to thegsdshow.com/E058, but he's not only going to give that away. You guys get it, right? So we would do that, and every guest has lead magnets already, and if they don't, we just quickly create one. How difficult is it to create a white paper or a lead magnet, right? So we try to stay in theme as much as we could. He said assembly line, that's why I had that, right? And this guy was talking about ninja secrets. And this guy was talking about being the best on the web. Really quick, round of applause for Sam for creating that stuff. Is that pretty cool? Guys, first job out of college, not bad, right? All right, so a bunch of stuff, always working on stuff. Sam's always working on stuff. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, the greats, as soon as they finish their game, first thing they do is they watch the video of what they just played to find weaknesses. This guy literally, to get better, screen records himself editing to go watch it to see how he can do it faster. What? Tell me millennials aren't hard workers, my ass. You just got to find them, right? And so 70 episodes later, look at how this show became. What's up, everybody? Mike Arce. Welcome back again to another episode of GSD Show. Today, I'm here with Mr. Jay Bear, Eugene, Lisa, Nick, Cole, Brad, Martin, Grant, Paul, Don. The question I get all the time is like, where do I invest my money? You invested back in your business. Your life was finance. The story told about your life. Oh man, 80% of businesses say that they deliver exceptional customer service. Not pretty superior, but only 8% of their customers. We are running the platform in which 56,000 businesses in 130 countries are operating. Really quick, this guy here, strategy to get him on the show. Okay, this guy here is the CEO of MindBody, Rick Stolmeyer. If you guys don't know what MindBody is, it's because you're not in the industry, but they're basically like the Infusionsoft of the fitness industry. Listen to what he says here. We are running the platform in which 56,000 businesses in 130 countries are operating. Now, I work with about 500, right? There's 56,000 that I want to work with. So I got him on the show, right? And so I had to find a way to work with these guys. I'm like, how do I work with them? The fastest way to be able to acquire clients quickly is to partner with people that already have clients that you have or you want, and then just find a way to connect, right? So it's like, how do I find a way to work with these guys? And so I realized they only had, when I did some research, they only had 3 videos on YouTube, and they were all from 2014. I was like, what? So I flew to San Luis Obispo to pitch them an idea that one of my coaches, Mark Lack, gave me. This is one of my coaches. He's awesome. He gave me this great idea. So the idea of starting their own video podcast and making me the host. Here's what happened. We're on a mission to connect the world with wellness, and this is the Mind Body Goal Show. And so this is how every show starts every single week for their audience. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Arce, and welcome back to another episode of the Bolt Show. Paula, are you ready to be bold? Guys, is that powerful? Yeah. Is that powerful? So I'm now in front of their audience every single week as the authority. Is that pretty damn cool? Yeah. Okay? Guys, that find a way to provide value. Look for weaknesses. What is it that the people in your industry that have your clients, what do they need help with? What are they not doing well that they probably want to do better? Find a way to fill that gap. If you can do it, you're locked in. That's what happened with us. So after this happened, we put a pause to the GSD show to focus on both. There was really no point in keeping both because it was duplicate content and actually sounded better to tell our clients, hey guys, the GSD show is unfortunately coming to an end, but for good reason. The CEO of our company, Mike Arce, has been asked by leading authority MindBody to be the host of their podcast, The MindBody Bold Show. For more episodes like the GSD show that you know and love, please go to MindBody Bold Show to be able to watch going forward. Thank you for being loyal fans. Right? Doesn't that sound better anyway? Way cooler. But I still wanted my own show. Why? Coaching, networking, and opportunities. What I learned was, man, every time I sat down with a guy, I was able to ask any question I wanted to ask. And I was able to learn so much from these guys in situations I normally wouldn't. Also, networking. I was able to meet people that I normally wouldn't be able to meet. I mean, more than maybe just a handshake at an event or something. And the opportunities, and I'll get to that in a second here. So we created what's called the GOAT Show. Who knows what GOAT stands for? Greatest of all time, right? So in this show, we interview people that are arguably the greatest of all time at whatever it is they do. I've gotten to interview people like Lewis Howes, who's arguably the greatest podcast of all time. Ty Lopez, who's arguably the greatest at creating a social media following. Russell Brunson, who's arguably the greatest at funnels and webinars. I don't know why it's making that noise every time I click, but that's happening. Rand Fishkin for SEO, John Lee Dumas, Vern Harnish. If you guys haven't read the book Scaling Up, our business is built around scaling up. It's amazing. And also Ryan Dice. And guys, check this out. We talk about opportunities. Remember I said I'd bring it back? That's the reason I'm here today. Ryan and I met at like Infusionsoft's conference a couple years ago. We shook hands. We talked for like a minute. That was about it. But then when I went to go interview him, Marcus, and I, we got to talk for like an hour and a half in Marcus's office. And next thing you know, they're like, hey, you should come and do this. You should come and do that. Now I'm here because of that, right? And this is one. I'm not telling you like the only one reason I did 70 episodes. This is one. I'm telling you like almost every episode there's opportunities. It's pretty cool. So you want to know how to virtually get any guest you want on your podcast? If you guys start one, who here has a podcast already? Cool. You guys want to learn how to get virtually any guest you want? Raise your hand if yes. Okay, awesome. Number one, guarantee views. That's actually the only thing. It's really easy. Guarantee views. You could say, look, we guarantee 25,000 views. 25,000 views cost about $250 to $350 if done right on Facebook ads. You take those little clips, like little snippets, and you go from there. Now, you know who else is in those videos that you're spending money to get out there? You. So you can target their audience as well as other interests to narrow down to really build credibility for yourself in front of the people that you want credibility in front of that also follow those people. Now, some guests are cool with 10,000 views. Some are cool with free. But 10,000 views is like $100. Some won't talk to you unless it's over like 100,000 views. But either way, guys, it's worth spending that money if it's going to get you in front of these people and you can start getting opt-ins and leads that way. Now, I've learned, I have 3 now, I will never not have a podcast. It's just silly. And people were telling me, I feel like I should have done this 3 years sooner, but I'm on it now. I will never not have a podcast, ever. And if you guys want to learn more, because there's a bunch I could share in here, but I wanted to create something easy for you guys to be able to get like an hour-long info. So I have a bunch of info here that I did on how to start your own video podcast. So if you guys don't know how, or you have a podcast you want to convert into a video podcast, you go to startavideopodcast.com. It's a bunch of free stuff that you guys will learn. It's basically our playbook and stuff like that. Okay, so next thing, we talked about getting layups. So your best clients hang out with other potential best clients. If you guys haven't read the book, who's read The Pumpkin Plan? Great book, great book. I've gone back to it a few different times because it talks to you about here's your best clients. Now, how do you get more of them? And it gives you great strategies. But we already know our best clients hang out with our best clients. So I really want to first find out who my ideal client is, who my best client is, so I can multiply those guys. So this is actually a client, Daniel Neary. And so what we decided was we go, okay, these are the 5 types of fitness studios that we work best with. We also know that we get the best results consistently for people that have a 50,000 reach within 5 miles on Facebook for the demographic of women 25 to 55. We want people to have at least 10 reviews or more with a 4-star average or better. The way we looked at it is if you can't treat your customers right, you're definitely not going to treat me right. And I don't want to deal with crappy customers and jerks, right? Would you guys agree? Yes. Okay. And we want people that are already advertising. That was a goal, right? Because they're spending money, they believe in it. And we want people that are franchise or with 3 locations or more. So we'd start by saying, what are the markets that are that reach that we want? So like San Diego and South Austin and all that stuff, right? So we're like, okay, cool. We got these 100-some, markets. Now we do yoga, San Diego, yoga, San Jose, yoga, whatever. And we just kind of keep going. Then Pilates and bar and spin. And we already know that's good. And then we Google that. People that have ads, we go ahead and look for the people that are part of franchises. We call the reason franchises. Remember I told you, you want to multiply business. Why do all this work to get one client? It's crazy. But if you can do all that work to get one, we got one Orange Theory, we got 60. We got one Orange Theory, we got 50. We got one Coco Fit Club, we got 45. So it's like once you get one, you get a bunch. So it's not $1,000 a month, it's like $50,000 a month. Does that make sense? At a good margin. So we had the idea to go after them ourselves. And so we outsource someone to create a list. You know, once you basically know what the criteria is and you create a template, you get that part outsourced, they fill it all up. And then we created custom videos and we put them on landing pages and we sent them out. And so we created a bunch of these things. And we got better and better as we went along. But my philosophy was, man, if I could just get them on the landing page, I'm already so much further ahead of the game than I ever was because of retargeting pixels. If I could just get them to my landing page, I could immediately build my custom audience with people I know I already want to work with. And then as it gets bigger and bigger, I could create a lookalike audience that gets better and better to that audience. And I could promote to both of those on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. How great would it be to know that the only people you run ads to are the people that you decided you want to work with? Is that cool? Yep. Okay. So we reached out once per day until they replied. So Monday, email, Tuesday, Facebook Messenger, Wednesday, Instagram, Thursday, LinkedIn, Friday, we call them just to follow up. And we use Wistia, so we can tell if they open the video, watch it multiple times, and we knew who to keep following up with the right way. We also had to create a script for each different message outlet, as each one had to be a little bit different. But no matter what, they all talked about the landing page and video we created just for them in their thumbnail. What's your name, sir? Mike? Oh, that's easy. I should have guessed that, right? So imagine you got an email and said, hey, Mike, my name's Mike. I know you don't know me, but I created a really cool video just for Mike's Fitness. I thought you'd like it. You may not, but I worked really hard on it. Just let me know what you think. Would you click? And there's a thumbnail like that. Would you click? All I need you to do is get to the landing page. Now, cool thing is we booked appointments, we made sales from it, but all I needed you to do is get to the landing page, and I could scale that thing up. Now, we knew curiosity would get them there, and it did. The first ones were weak. So some of you guys saying, yeah, but Mike, you're probably real good at video. Here's how the first ones were. That's the thumbnail picture.
Hello, this video is for... Hello, Joe and Renee. Keep going, Sam. Just give me a second. Here we go.
All right, you guys get it, right? It sucked. So, sorry for the weird haircut, no beard, and chubby face. Times were different. So, but I got better. The videos got better as I got better. That's how it works.
Hello, Sandy, and the whole Internet Cardio Bar. My name is Mike, and there's a reason I'm sending this custom landing page and video just for you.
If you own a gym, or you need a gym, this is your guy.
I checked out the place and it looks like you guys are doing a lot.
Now, the reason we did that is because we had to break the template. Only the first part was custom. Everything else was template. So that was the way we can transition without them seeing the transition. Pretty cool, right? So we were able to pump out videos at 22 seconds per pop. That was our goal. Now, a lot of you probably saying, hey, look, it's not a scalable process. Remember, I'm a systems guy. I made it scalable. If you guys want to see how to make it scalable, I did a whole thing for you guys, a video on how you can do this yourselves. Go to sellusingvideo.com, and I teach you the entire process on how to do exactly what I did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and that was how I was able to get the clients that I wanted to work with. And once you get those once, your clients hang out with your best clients. Referrals are amazing. Okay, next thing, you never want to be the barber with a bad haircut. Look at this guy, right? So if you're the marketer, you got to be a good marketer. By the way, no wonder he's chopping that guy up, right? Look at his hair. So if you're a marketer, invest in your marketing team. So we have a director of marketing, a content marketer, 2 video producers, sales developers, social media manager, and now hiring for a digital specialist, right? So invest in your marketing team. Also, there's Kelsey. Get an assistant. Kelsey made my life like 1,000,000 times easier. If you don't have an assistant, you're the assistant. And that means who's the CEO? You got to be able to do the CEO job, right? So make sure you get an assistant or else you are. As the business owner, your clients are not your clients. Your people are your clients. I know this sounds weird, but let me explain. As a business owner, your clients are not your clients, your people are your clients. The company's clients are your people's clients, okay? Your people can choose to work anywhere they want, anywhere they want. Your job is to create a great product, meaning the company, for them to keep choosing you and not looking at the competition. That's your goal. So that means what do they want? What do they need? What makes them happy? And have those conversations and find a way to give it to them so they don't have to go to a place that maybe offers a less quality product. Make sense? Create a community of raving fans. Obviously, but how? A lot of people say that, right? By truly helping them and giving them the answers. When you niche, you have a bunch of the same types of customers all working on the same things with different strengths. So, yes, of course, we created the GSD show, a bunch of really great information that people could just copy and do in their business. Yes, we did the same thing with the Bold show. That's fantastic. But one thing we also did was we created a learning center with tons of videos, scripts, and templates. Tons, right, that we gather from our most successful fitness studios. How do you guys book so many appointments? We already know they're doing good because they're talking to our account managers every week. How are you booking so many appointments? How are you getting so many people to buy? Wow, you got that many in upsells? You're selling contracts like that? So we basically get all that information from them, and we create tons of videos, and we share that with everyone. We give them the answers, right? The competition doesn't have this, and even if they started to, they can't catch up now because I keep moving, right? What's this? Right. So next thing, do not wing it in the sales process. Actually have a process. We have a demo on Keynote and a video chat using Zoom. Now, I agree with what Perry said the other day or yesterday, where he was like, you know, keep it simple, go back, don't do the whole dog and pony show, and I 100% agree with bigger sales. But with this stuff, I want to be able to systemize. Remember, for this, we're not selling a big high-end product. So when you go to like in McDonald's, it's, would you like fries with that? That's it, that's the upsell. But when you're at a Fleming's, it's, hey, so today we have a special of blah, blah, blah. It's a duck with lemon garlic butter sauce, blah, blah. It's like, okay, cool. You sell different things differently, right? We wanted to be able to turn and burn. We sold 531 people like this in 19 months. So for pricing, we use a decoy effect. If you guys aren't using the decoy effect, you're missing out on your product. If you do know what it is and you're not using it, it's probably because you're scared, because you think it won't work. It works. I make all my clients do it, coaching and agency, use it. And if you don't know what it is, you can read the book Predictably Irrational, or you can go ahead and watch this 2-minute video on YouTube that breaks it down. It's incredible, the decoy effect. These are the tools we use in our business, just to round up here. So we use WhatsApp to communicate with our agency. So all the people in our company, we use WhatsApp so we can do voice and not drive and text and all that stuff. Asana is our project management tool. We store everything in Google Drive. Infusionsoft's our CRM marketing tool. We create documents, agreements in like 30 seconds in PandaDoc. ClickFunnels for our landing pages. Zapier for like integrating a lot of different things we couldn't do. And Twilio for automated texts. So now, what am I working on today? Because the business grows without me. It doesn't run without me, it grows without me. We got customers while I've been here, right? So I've decided to help agencies do what I did. Got a little bored. So I created solutions that I wish I had 5 years ago. And that's kind of what I keep coming up with. As I go to these conferences, people ask me questions. I'm like, that's right, I remember I had that too. That's right, I remember I had that challenge too. So I created Agency GSD. What does GSD stand for? All right. So that's it, guys. But really quick, I want to do a couple things. Number one, that's the URL that you can get the slide deck. Take a screenshot if you haven't already, or a picture. Also, that's the URL to be able to learn how to start your video podcast. That's the URL where you can learn how to do that video strategy that I did to get the clients that you want to work with. And there we go. That's me. But before we go, can you do me a favor? Because I've always wanted to see other people do it, and I'm like, I don't want one like that. Can I take a picture? Can I do one of these? Is that cheesy? Can I have permission to be cheesy? Okay. All right, here we go. How about this? I'll do a video. Can you guys do a GSD chant? Is that cool? My team would love this. Ready? Hold on. GSD. GSD. Louder. Louder. Woo! All right, thanks, guys. Did you guys get value out of today? Yes? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Here's a...
Good. Thank you. All right.